Hey, it's Frank here with 4D Honeybee, and I just want to show how to refill one of these disposable 1 pound propane bottles in case you're using them for your foggers. I will be using this for a fogger. I don't have one yet, but I use them for space heaters and such right now, and I'm tired of disposing them. We shouldn't have to. We should be able to refill them. And it's not too big a deal to do. So first thing you do is you go out and buy one of these valves. Now this is a propane tank refill adapter. Only Fire makes them, a bunch of other manufacturers make them. This is what it looks like here. And it's just a valve that fits in your 20, 30, 40, or 50 pound propane tank, and it also, the other end of the coupling, fits on your 1 pounder there. And a few little tricks that you have to do, but basically you just fill in gas from the big one to the little one and refill it. So this valve is kind of neat because it has a valve in it that automatically closes or stops the filling of the 1 pound propane tank when it is filled. So this is what it looks like here. You see it's got a male thread for the inside of the tank, which goes counterclockwise right here, right? And then you've got a female portion that mates into your propane tank with your valve sticking in there. So one thing you do is you freeze the empty tank, the empty 1 pounder, to condense the gas inside it. And if you listen to it, there is some gas inside there, some liquid propane in there. So I was using it for a space heater, and I guess that's as far as it would draw till it became technically empty. But if we look at the relative weights of everything, you've got your full propane tank with bottle coming in at let's see here, coming in at, can you see that there, 1.8, 1.7, 1.8 pounds. Let's call it 1.8. And then you've got your empty one coming in at 1.3, 1.4. So realistically, if you're putting half a pound in of propane into this tank, you're probably doing all right. So let's walk you through a couple of steps. First of all, you've frozen this thing. I've had this outside in pretty chilly temperatures for the whole day. You can sit it in your freezer for an hour or a half hour just to freeze it and compress the gas, but then your large propane tank needs to be at room temperature, so keep that in mind. First thing you're going to do is just place this valve, make sure your cylinder's closed, place this valve, and it threads counterclockwise here. Thread this valve counterclockwise into your tank. We will tighten this down with a wrench in a moment. And then you put this one on here, tighten it all down. Now I'm going to take this outside to finish because you don't want to be doing this indoors or where there are any pilot lights on and such, because if you do get any kind of a leak, you don't want propane gas leaking in your house, okay, for obvious reasons. So I'm going to just finish this outside. It's going to be as easy as screwing this into that valve, then turning the whole thing upside down, opening this valve, and you'll actually hear the gas surging through. Once you stop hearing the sound, you shut it all down, take it all apart, and you should have at least, I'd say, another half a pound of true gas in here, which should leave me with about maybe 80% worth of gas to be able to use. I didn't bother using a wrench to remove any of the air or gas inside of here because I don't think that's going to get us much of a net profit. So I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so the bottles are all screwed in nice and tight. Now we'll just turn this upside down and open it up and see if you can actually hear the gas moving into the small can. You hear that filling? So we'll just hold it here until we stop hearing that transfer, and it should be done. Still going. Did you have a look at my bald spot there? Setting up security cameras around my house and notice I got a bald spot. Nobody's ever told me about it. Anyway. When you do shut it down then, let's hear if it's still if it's moving anymore. See if you can hear anymore. Yeah, there's still gas moving through there. So what I'll do is I'll just pause until this finishes filling, and then I'll show you how we wrap it up. Okay, so it's been a good 7 minutes, and I can still just hear the faintest little trickle of gas being transferred, or liquid being transferred there, but I'm going to call it. So just going to shut down this valve here, and then turn it over and unscrew this guy up here. Now, I do expect that when I unscrew this, I'll get a little bit of a pop of propane there. That's another reason why you want to do this outside. But I think the quicker you do it, the less gas you'll lose. There you go. So that's it. We'll go downstairs and reweigh this and see how much we've gotten. It's noticeably heavier, so obviously I think it's been a success. Okay, so this is the refilled tank. It's noticeably heavier. I can't remember what the original weight was of the empty tank. Was it 1.3 or something? I can't remember. Anyway, we'll see it in the video, but so we got 2.3, 2.2 pounds in this one. So take the brand new one here, which has not yet been opened, and we've got about 2.0, so 1.9, 2.0. So you have gotten a full tank, just in case you didn't see it there. I may have held it off camera. Here is the fill tank. Yeah, 2.4. So definitely a good refill. Now that valve cost me 15 bucks with delivery on Amazon, 15 Canadian. I've seen them as cheap as 9. I've seen them as expensive as 37. So I think I got something midway down the road, and I figure that at the price of these disposable 1 pound tanks, by my 5th tank I will have paid for the valve. So that's how you refill a 1 pound propane tank. Hope it's useful, and thanks for joining me. 40 Honeybee.